While the stars of the industry, like Madonna, are signing million-dollar contracts, Les Payne has spent years, sometimes playing 7 nights a week at local pubs, just to make ends meet.
The veteran of over 5,000 gigs, good grief, he must be exhausted.
A rock musician who's been trying for more than 30 years to make a hit record will finally be rewarded today when he's presented with a national award, not for his music, but for trying so hard.
He's a man whom the song We Nearly Made It has a very special resonance. Please welcome Les Payne. And Les,
I can't believe you're not better!
You know, to have so much drive and determination and to believe so much in what you do is wonderful. I mean, you're inspiring me right now.
Well, I was small and you were not at all, and Johnny looked out for me. The war was on, they dropped their bombs, they didn't care, it filled the air they could not see. It was crazy. My mind's like a photograph to me. My mind's like a photograph to me. Just a photograph of memories.
With the Luftwaffe resuming raids on London again, the death of author Beatrix Potter and the births of Mick Jagger and George Harrison, it was hardly surprising that Les Payne's birth went fairly unnoticed. Les was born on the 22nd of August 1943 at his Auntie Stella's house in Newport, Isle of Wight. Soon after Les's birth, they moved just one road away to their own rented accommodation. His father, Alex, was a radio operator in the Royal Corps of Signals and was on his way to Burma.
Sisters and brothers and their lonely mothers. Nobody could see the light. Nobody could see the light.
Sandwiched between Portsmouth and Southampton, the Isle of Wight got its fair share of bombing. With most food on ration, living in a house with only an outside loo, no electric, just gas and oil lamps, and riddled with mice, life wasn't easy.
We don't want your war, we can't take any more. We don't want your war, you can stay, can.
In May 1945, the Second World War ended in Europe. However, with Les's dad in Burma, it would be another 6 months before he returned home.
Everybody knows we all need money, all need money, we all need money. But not everybody thinks that greed.
Life was still quite a struggle, even though they were now all together as a family. But Les remembers a happy childhood. 1956. Rock and roll arrived from America.
I want you to
Womp bom balloon bom 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 to the root, oh root. Woo, come on everybody. Well, bebop she's my baby. Just you know why. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, the crying.
Yeah, rock and roll was unbelievable. It was as though it was from another planet. And I remember thinking, this is what I want to do.
July 1958, Les leaves school. He's now just 14 And though his heart and mind was really only into doing music, in reality it seemed he was destined, like many others, to be in the ever-decreasing circle of the proper job.
You go here, you go there. Be here at 9, pack up at 5. You get told you're getting old in a rut. No, I don't wanna wind up in a rut. Oh no, I don't wanna wind up in a rut.
In 1963, Les, along with his brothers and mum and dad, moved from the Isle of Wight to Oxfordshire. But in 1964, Les met his future wife at a Gene Vincent concert.
She's my baby.
Bridget was very keen on Les's music and encouraged him to really try harder and to send songs to record companies and publishers, demo more songs and get gigs. Over the next few years it was intense, until Les secured his first major deal. June 1965, within 1 year of meeting, Les and Bridget were married.
Do you believe in just what you see? And most of all, do you believe in me?
Working long hours in a day job and then recording, rehearsing, writing, gigging, sending songs, meetings. It was endless. After just 11 months of marriage, in May 1966, Bridget and Les have a son, Crispin. Les had also been doing solo gigs. He decided it was time to put a band together. He arrived with a 4-piece called Chameleon. Chameleon made quite an impact on live gigs, regularly playing London and the home counties, and the legendary Friars Rock Club, playing the songs written by either the guitarist Tom Goodall and Marilyn Saunders, or by Les, often supporting big names of the day. One of Tom's friends, Mike Battori, managed to get Chameleon into a major studio to do some demos. The studio belonged to record giant CBS. These demos resulted in CBS offering Chameleon a record deal, and they went back in and recorded a single. And we're excited to hear that the single was going to get a play on Radio 1 on What's New, hosted by the now legendary Annie Nightingale.
Chameleon, that was called Who Am I on the CBS label. I think that's a very promising first record from a new group I haven't heard of before. There's 4 of them, and they've been playing together for a year. Also a very good first production by Mike Fitzhenry, who was an engineer at CBS, and they said, go on, here's your chance, go and make a record. And that's the one he made. Very interesting indeed. I don't know whether it will be a hit, but I think Chameleon will be a name to be reckoned with, perhaps. It's a nice classical influence there. Anyway, I like that very much.
Chameleon was one of only 2 good reviews on the programme, and even with Annie Nightingale's enthusiasm, it was the only play it received. With non-existing publicity and poor distribution, the single disappeared. Chameleon continued to gig, and then, determined not to fold, Les and Tom went to meet a publisher called Bob Grace. Bob worked for Butterfly Music, which was under the wing of the very successful indie label, Chrysalis.
This guy who was a publisher said, if you leave that record company, and they were not really doing much for me, we will get this guy to write a song for you. Getting free from CBS was so easy, it was a little depressing. His name's David Bowie. He said, have you heard of him? And I said, yeah, just from the press and that. And so anyway, we went with the band to a little rehearsal room in Victoria. He came to see the band play. He was a really nice guy. David was as known for his flamboyancy then as much as his music, and we didn't really know what to expect. And asked us to play some of our songs and joined in enthusiastically on the tambourine. He said he had just a song for us, and within a couple of days his demo arrived. And it was Star, which had actually different lyrics when we did it. Some of the lyrics were the same. Anyway, we did an arrangement for Chameleon and returned to Victoria to play him the song.
If someone had the sense to hear me, if someone had the time to see, I could tell them who they are, like the rock and roll stars. And he loved the way I'd arranged it and everything. They turned him down. He wanted to produce it.
And they said, no, you're a songwriter, we'll get a producer in.
We'll get somebody with some real talent.
What was really odd is even then, remember in 1970 or 71, and I could recognise immediately the guy was talented just from the demo he gave me. I was still fiddling about with an old Grundig tape recorder with bits of paper behind the erase head and things. And there was this amazing demo, with hand claps and all his voice, just piano and voice. And
do you still have that demo?
I've still got it, yeah.
Oh God, I would love to hear that.
They had already booked a producer called John Schroeder.
Yeah, we went into Pi Studios with John and recorded it. Came out very well and people seemed to like it. For some reason it was never released.
If this wasn't bad enough, Bridget decided she was going to leave, along with Crispin, who was now 5 years old. At this very low point in Les's life, he decided not to give up his music career, but to give up his day job. 90% of Les's correspondence was by post. It was still quite common not to be on the phone. If Les had to make a call, his nearest phone box was 2 miles from his home. Luckily for Les, the positive reaction became more frequent.
Well, I can help to feel the love. I thought about you for a time. Can't do it anymore. Who do you like? Oh no, you'll never see. Nowhere land. Nobody in my dreams. I've got to rock and roll. I've got to rock and roll. Go with me, if it goes. Since I saw the writing on the wall, I was driving in my car on a cold and misty night. The world's gone crazy.
I think the world's gone crazy.
For every rock star that makes it, there are maybe several thousand that don't make it, and most of them return to the human race quite quickly and get a day job, But he's got such unflagging optimism.
Out of all the artists that I've produced and worked with, Les has been one of the most talented that I've ever come across, and those early songs that I heard of his called Jiggy Jiggy, Let Me In Your Room, I thought were certain to be a success. And Les has been one of these very unfortunate to have been passed by when there's so much talent, and to this day I cannot really understand why he has been so overlooked. Even now, with writing all the songs that he does, there are artists out there that could easily record Les's songs and have success with them. And it really upsets me to hear songs by someone so talented and this is so underestimated. And if anything, anybody knows about songs and the feeling in songs and musical riffs and catchiness and emotion, then I think Les certainly does. And it's so unjust to me for him to have been overlooked all these last years of not having the success that he really deserves.
jeans. No money, money in my jeans. No money in my jeans. No money in my jeans. Money, money, money. No money in my jeans. No money in my jeans.
spend your life to be alone. You work your fingers to the bone. Everybody needs somebody to give a helping hand. You got your head, you got your hair, but what's the point if you don't care? Everybody needs somebody to give a helping hand. I know that people can make you cry. It's easy though, time can say goodbye. You spend your life to be alone. You work your fingers to the bone. Everybody needs somebody to give a helping hand. Everybody needs somebody to give a helping hand. Everybody needs somebody to give a helping hand.
Perhaps one of the least commercial and consistently overlooked bands of the last 30 years, the Vestas have nonetheless influenced today's music scene. Sponsored from the earliest days by the Vesta Meal Company, this is the story of the band they called the Well-Fed Four.
For me, it was the beef curry. I mean, you get a great big plateful for not much bread.
I think for me it was the Vesta beef risotto.
When the rave culture started, I mean, the Vestas were there.
Basically, we were busking.
You can say that you love me, and that may be true.
Yeah, it was a real heavy scene, right?
That's not show business, that's farming.
Do you like some?
Coming soon in 5 substantial episodes. The Vestas, the group, the music, the meals.
Les represents what we would call a true rock and roll story. I mean, there is a song called Rock and Roll, I Gave You the Best Years of My Life. And Les very definitely has given the best years of his life to rock and roll. And the amazing thing is that despite all adversity, he's never ever given up.
I wish that I could hide the way that I but I just cry, even though